you doing, Mike?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm f- I'm good. I'm good. So my question is, i- is when we're gonna have a reset, okay? So my mind cannot see how many cycles that the market have to do to reach the four levels that you shown that the market should go.
I mean,
Sometime
you would
I,
have to just calculate it out, right? So if you were to let's say the move, right? Let's just say that this is the move that it's going to do is this, right?
Mhm.
Let's say that's
Yes,
the move. So if that's the move, then and we know we're looking for basically um, for it to go either here or here, right?
okay,
I mean, just start doing the math from here to here is about 358. Here's about 500 and 15. So what's the ADR right now currently on this? So it's averaging about 150. So what's 150? You're looking at 450 for the cycle. So 515 pips would basically be one cycle. That's about 3.7 or so.
okay,
So that would be one cycle from the reset to just get to this area or this area here.
okay. And when the market is reached that level, so so I will look to buy, right? So because the market reached the full cycle.
Right, you would look for a peak formation first,
Okay,
right? Once you get a peak formation, then you can start buying again.
okay, okay. Thank
You don't want to just think that a peak formation is going to form automatically,
you.
right?
Okay,
Because I can show you that that's not always the case if you look at this.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
If you look at
Okay,
this, you're like, oh, what the hell happened?
okay.
You know?
All
So
right.
like no matter what, for you to buy, you need a peak formation to form.
Okay.
Once you get the peak formation, then you can start buying again. You know, if it's only like if you're out in the middle of no man's land where there's no structure, and all of a sudden there's a peak formation that forms, where you're like, okay, well, why did a peak formation form there? Was because they couldn't just keep going down. They needed to form a peak formation, and then you'll probably get another reset.
Yeah, so about the ADR, I'm actually using the Hakanashi candle as well.
Okay.
And you know how yours says 150, mine shows like 120, 124 around there.
The only thing that I would tell you then is to see if you have. I have mine set at 14 days, so maybe you have yours set at 21 or something. I don't know,
Mm, yeah.
but check that because that changes. That would change obviously your ADR range. The less days that you have um, means basically the shorter your the indicators grasping the averages of it. You know what I'm saying? So the default is 21 days or 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, mine's on 21.
Yeah, so it's gonna grab 21 days of averages of daily averages and then average that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes a
So
big difference because when I'm
yes,
marking on my charts compared to yours, it's like a little bit off.
yeah, yeah, it would make a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you, Mark.
yeah, no worries. Because I mean, I you got to start to realize, and this is something that I realized like when I was doing gold, is that like every cycle was different in the sense of like one cycle could be um here. So like, this cycle here from this reset to this peak low on this case here is, you're getting from like 110, 110, 117 into the 130s towards the end.
Mm.
So for me, I look at this as like an average cycle of, let's say, around, I try to take everything into account. So I would probably say maybe the 125 range as a
Mm.
cycle itself, but if
Oh,
you
okay.
start to go back, this cycle here may have only been, because you could see the ADRs here is in the 90s,
Right.
So this cycle would probably have cycles more in the 95 range or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you go back here to this one, this cycle may have been in the 70s. You get what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to that, because just because this cycle just because you see, movement, from here to here being 3.5 on this cycle, if you have the same movement going back up again, it may not be the same, because the numbers would change, or could change, so just
Okay.
keep that in mind. And so that's why I shorten it on mine, so it gives me more accurate. I'm more worried about, okay, what's this cycle going to be worth? What other questions do you guys have?
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine. When the screen is white, I have a very difficult time seeing the yesterday's low of day, high of day, especially that one. I mean, the other one is not too bad. So I've been trying to change the coloring, but I can't change it.
On TradingView?
Yes.
Okay. So to change anything on TradingView with the colors and stuff like that, and you're talking about like the background, like the black background?
The yesterday's on the 15-minute chart, yesterday's high of day, low of day. The color is so faded yellow.
All right, 1 second. Let me put everything on here so we can. You're talking about like these lines here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, gotcha. So these lines are basically these colors here. All of the colors for those, lines would essentially fall into this area here. Let's see. I don't know if there's a way to change them.
Mark,
Yes.
go to inputs,
Okay.
and then go to right there. So there's text color, and then there's middle range line color, and then there's orange there. You just want to play with that.
Oh, so these are the colors for that?
And
Got
then
it.
each are separate. This for Asia, and then there's London, and then New York.
Okay, yeah. So session high, low, width line. So I guess you can make them thicker. Let's see what happens if you change it to 11. Yeah, so those are those lines there. These are what, weekly highs, lows, dotted.
That's the one that I've been trying to change the color to get it brighter, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, you got to go to the bottom of it. So go to the bottom of that input.
Those are
and you'll find it
solids.
there.
There's so many. Yeah.
Oh, the bottom show.
Yeah, last week
Yeah.
line color right there and all that shit right there.
Yeah, so last week line color orange, last week line width. This is where you would make it thicker,
Okay.
or you can change it from a dash line to a solid line if you want to.
Okay.
So this is where you would change all the colors and stuff for all those lines.
What about the numbers, the prices on the side? Is there any way it could be enlarged?
Like this right here?
Yeah, for people like me who 54 with glasses.
Yeah. I don't know about those. Auto
You know how
fits.
people manage it.
I don't know how to make those numbers bigger, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Appearance scale text is 12. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to mess too much with mine because I don't want to mess it up to where I can't see
I don't
anything.
blame you.
But I would assume it's probably either in appearance.
Okay.
I would think it's one of these settings in appearance, because it has all of anything with appearance would have to be top margin, bottom margin. I don't know what these would do.
All right.
Bars. Yeah, I'm not too.
That's okay. At least I know where to go and play with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, unless you want to do, like I know on Mac at least, I have an option to go into display settings and I can make the entire text bigger.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the display settings. So instead of like, I know like you would have this on Windows as well, where instead of displaying the text by like 10 and 1080p, you can, which is like 1920 by 1060 or something, you would change it to like 720p, which is like 720 by whatever, and it makes all the text bigger.
Okay.
Okay,
fair enough.
But that would make the text for everything on your computer bigger, so everything would be easier to read.
Okay, that's a good point.
So that might be a better option for you. So it'll help you with this, but also with everything else.
Okay.
Because if you have it set on like the default settings and you have like a normal size monitor, most likely it's probably like a 1080p monitor, and that's what it's automatically set to. So the text will be really small anyways on that, but you can change it in the display, settings area of the operating system itself.
Okay, that's a helpful hint. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I had a question in the chat, Mark. I was trying to see how to find the structure on the daily, going sells and buys. I see how you were doing it, but I just want to make sure that I'm looking at the right stuff going left, the structure left, right? Is that what we're looking for, to the left?
Yeah, so here, it's the way I do it is pretty simple. It's, let me hide all this stuff. So if I'm going down, right, if you're going down in a downtrend, on the daily, right, let's just say that this is going down, 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 down. I'm looking for the next piece of structure. I'm looking at these ones here, right? Basically the bounces that made it move up, because those would be the ones where it goes to on the way down. On the way back up, it's the opposite. So on the way up, if I'm looking at this, if I'm looking at let's say this structure going up, right, where are my targets? Well, my first target would be here, and then my second target would be here.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going up, it's the opposite. I'm looking for the tops of the previous. So I'm looking for these on the way back up. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep, makes sense. Got it. Thanks.
That's literally all I'm doing on the daily to help, kind of project where price action is going to go. That's it.
Mark, I got a quick question. It's more about like live performance. One thing I like a lot is that I'll see the setup, right, and I contemplate if there's gonna be a pullback or not, and sometimes I just jump the gun, and there's always a pullback. What would be some like advice for you from you that live performance is something I should like watch out more when it comes to live performance?
Well, I think that's really going to be dependent on you as a trader. Like, do you find yourself, are you patient enough to wait for a pullback? If you are, then you should wait for a pullback. If you're not patient enough to wait for a pullback, then you probably shouldn't wait for a pullback. But if you are not going to be patient enough to wait for a pullback, then you can't be mad when you get a pullback. Does that make sense? You can't eat your cake and have it too. You have to just ask yourself, am I comfortable waiting for a pullback? And really, to answer that question for you is look at all of the back testing that you've done. How many times have you had a pullback? What's the percentage of the time that you've had a pullback?
I'd say 70% of the time.
Then there you go. You should probably wait for a pullback. Or wait to at least wait for it to see if you get a pullback, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you could do is to anticipate a pullback if you wanted to is put in those buy limit or sell limit orders. You could do it that way. But I mean, when you're looking at a setup, you got to ask yourself, if you put in the parameters for for you to take the setup, do the parameters, how it's set right now, does it allow you to have a pullback, or do you need a pullback for the trade to actually work? Should be the question. So like this trade on Friday, right, a multi-session type 1, right? You had the star pattern here, right, which was your entry right there after the star pattern. Well, if you don't wait for the pullback on the next candle, I mean, you're looking at like probably a 15 pip stop loss. If you waited for the pullback, now it turns into like an 11 pip stop loss. But if let's say you get in right after, right there, but then you get a pullback and the pullback is like all the way down here, and it could have given you a better entry. Like, are you going to be mad that you didn't wait?
Yes.
If you're going to be mad that you didn't wait, then you probably should wait for pullbacks. But everything completely depends on whether or not the trade parameters fit the actual trade setup off the bat. So these trade parameters would fit perfectly fine here on this trade because you're only giving up your 15 pips, which is fine. If this candle would have been like, let's say, up here, and now you're at like 20, 22 pips, now you really would want to pull back, right? You really would want to pull back to make it 15, which would make way more sense.
Good question, Mike. I mean, obviously you've been trading for like 12 years. So, I mean, do you ever add on to your position?
Do I ever add on to my position? The only times I have added on to my position is if a scenario like this, where you enter the trade, let's say where you enter the trade here, and then you get a pullback, right? Let's say you go up and then you get a pullback, right? You can re-enter. You can enter basically down here, but that entry is going to be a smaller. So let's say that, I don't know. Let's say you do a 20 lot on the first entry,
Sure,
but then you get another pullback here. That pullback, that second entry, if I do it, it would be like a 1 lot. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the stop loss is still the same on both. Because if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. But the majority of the time, for me to do this, I don't really. That would be the only time that I would add on to a trade.
Yeah.
Is if I really believe that this is the bottom, and I get one more, like, it's like when you get like a third leg, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get a third leg to it, like something like that. But once it's gone, like once it's up here, like I don't add on to it. No, I want to get out of it. I mean, it doesn't make, if I take an entry here and I add on to it, up here, where am I going to put my stop loss for this trade? Because this is a separate trade. I don't look at it as just like an add-on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't look at it that way. If I'm going to add it on, I'm going to add it on like down here, where my risk is going to be low, because I'm using the same stop loss. Do you get what I'm saying?
Were you in that pound JPY setup on Friday for a sell, or did you have it as a buy?
A pound JPY. It was a buy on Friday.
Oh, you had it as a buy, huh? Yeah, then I don't know if I misread that or something, but I got in at 156.31, and I mean it got me a little bit of profit, but it reversed right away.
Yeah, I mean, what were you looking at it though as what?
So I was looking at potential second leg of a macro M, so like 2-day session M, to move back down, but I didn't register that big red candle and then move back up as a reset. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so I just thought that price would go back, retest the highs, and then it pinned it early on in London, which gave me an indication that we're
Right
we're
here.
done with here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I seen that as potential like second leg forming. But I got out, and then it came back to the high. If you can go back to like the regular candles, it went back up to that high, and then there was a railroad track right there, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I got in at the pullback, and then it took me out. So I got in twice, and I lost once on it, and I broke even.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at this for the type 3 aspect of it because it came up here, but I mean, the real, I think for me, the real meat and potatoes is up here, man, this range up here. See this big wick?
Yeah.
It's in that range, man. So that's what I'm saying, like this right here may not be a reset. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this whole cycle here might still go and just be one big cycle of like 4.1 or whatnots.
Yeah, because if it is, I remember talking about it on Discord. Because if it is a peak for reset, then this thing is gonna break above that 157.
Right, exactly. And so I don't think it. I would hope it wouldn't, right? At least from the daily time aspect of it.
Yeah.
So all I'm looking for is for price to come back and tag all this, right? And so if it does do that, I mean, this is only, would make it, in the 4.1, 4.2 times 80, ADR cycle range, which is fine. I'm okay with that, But I mean, once if it were to go higher than that and break through all that stuff here, then I mean, just look to the left. There's nothing there, Then it's the same thing, right? You're going up, right? So the closest thing that you have to structure are these highs here, this right here, that right there, and that right there, right? So those would be the next points. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just like if this were to come down, right? What are the next points of structure? It'd be here. It would be those points there. I was very surprised this did not go and hit this bottom again.
Seems like they don't want to go back down there.
Right. So you still got a little bit ways to go to on the TDI to reach the top. So who knows?
Yeah, interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Any other questions on anything? Alrighty. So what we're gonna do is, I want to say Wednesday. I want to say I don't know when, but Wednesday I'll put out another video, like a midweek review, type of deal, and it'll be posted like on the website.
Like an update on the analysis.
Yeah. See if anything, changes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Basically, let's say another analysis, real quick, of any pairs or whatnots.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Okay, so like when you sign into the website, and then you have you see how you have your weekly analysis, and then the group session right next to it. It'll be like in that section there.
Hey, Mark. Just want to say thanks for some of your feedback on Discord. During London session, I kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the chat, and a couple of your suggestions kind of played out and kind of confirmed what I had been looking at. I know on your CAD, I believe it was your CAD, you had mentioned that, possible type 3 setting up, and I was tracking that, and that just provided confirmation that I was kind of going in the right direction. So I appreciate, some of the comments and conversations you have in there.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's kind of easy to do when it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right,
Not very easy to do when it's 3 in the morning, but when you're in an area where it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's pretty simple to be up for London.
Gotcha. But thanks, team. If y'all have, if you happen to be up, jump into Discord. Some nice conversations go on. Potential or just post what you see, and and I had, matter of fact, when you posted that your CAD possible Type 3 setting up, I was just about to post it. I was like, oh, okay, you're seeing the same thing that I saw, and I was going to post it just in there. I was like, okay, I was on the same thing. So
nice, cool. Well, you're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Also, Mark, just to add on to that, if Mark, I'm talking to you. If you're ever down, on Discord, just start like a live or something. We'll join you.
Okay.
Live trading or something if you're down for that.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good. If I'm available, I'll be more than happy to do it. Also depends on the internet connection too, because sometimes the internet goes out here. I notice that, so, or it's not as strong sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, whenever you feel like, we'll definitely join in. I know people are eager for that too.
Yeah. All right, guys. If nobody has any questions, then talk to you guys next week.